What I have here is small but mighty. This is the Atomstack M4 Laser Marking Machine, and it obliterates metal. Hey everyone, my name is Sam and welcome back to Samcraft. In today's video, we're going to take a full deep dive and in-depth look at the brand new Atomstack M4 Laser Engraver. This is the Atomstack M4. It is a 5-watt laser and the wavelength is 1064 nanometers. Its marking range or working size is 70 by 70 millimeters or just a hair over 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. It has an accuracy rating of 0.001 millimeters and marking depth of 0.015 to 0.2 millimeters. Its repetition accuracy is also listed to be less than 0.0001 millimeters. This laser can be used either in the desktop configuration as you see it here, or you're able to remove the laser from its base, use the green included shield and spacer to use it handheld to engrave objects. Along with the laser, green shield, and basic pieces, you also are included a USB cable, a USB drive with software and drivers, power cord, power adapter, ruler, positioning plate, safety glasses, Allen wrenches, extra screws, calibration paper, focusing film, and of course a user's manual. Taking a tour of the machine, here on the left side you have the Atomstack logo. This is a nice all-metal enclosure, probably aluminum. On the back side you have the power button, USB connection, and your on-off switch, as well as the inlet for the cooling fan. Over on the left side of the machine you have the crank to raise and lower the laser to focus it, as well as a small button that's labeled as repeated work. This is a one-touch repeat job that when pressed will repeat the job you just did. This is great for batch production and repeat work. Looking down at the base of the machine, you have a removable square plate in the middle. That's if you want to sit the laser on top of a large object and engrave the object. It allows you to take that center section out and engrave upon that. You also notice that this bed is full of threaded holes. The kit includes a positioning plate or a 90-degree L, so you can make up a little jig system and do repeated jobs easier. Unlike other lasers that I've reviewed on my channel, this is not a typical diode laser. This is a diode laser that's paired to a galvometer, which basically is a set of mirrors that pivot and move inside the machine to change the direction of the laser itself. There is no gantry with this laser. There are no external moving parts, and all of the action in moving that laser around the work surface is done inside with sets of mirrors and motors. With only the mirrors moving inside, you're able to achieve super fast speeds when compared to a traditional diode laser. As far as my thoughts on the fit and finish of the laser, it looks great, everything's fine. The only complaint I have is the crank handle where you raise and lower the machine is a little bit crunchy. Sometimes as you're raising it, it's like it doesn't mesh properly with the gears. It might get hung up a little bit, you have to force through it, or otherwise just doesn't feel as smooth as you would expect. It also is a little bit noisy. Other than that, my only other complaint is that the positioning piece or the little L bracket they give you to put on top of your surface kind of locks you into certain areas. There's not a great deal of flexibility for smaller parts or odd-shaped objects since you have to align the piece with the holes in your tabletop. So far I've not really found a use for it personally, but it's a pretty cool thing they at least include. Absolutely, the fact that this bed comes with threaded inserts and you do have the machine screws, it's going to be very easy to make your own jig, which is probably what you're going to want to do anyway with any custom piece. To remove the machine from the base, it's just as simple as that big silver thumb screw that you put to assemble it. You just take it out and you lift the laser up off of its base. Here on the bottom, we're able to see not only the main lens where the laser comes through, but the secondary focusing laser. This is a plain red dot laser and is one that has a couple of different adjustments and screws and everything in there so that you're able to find your exact focusing point, and at that point these two dots should match. If not, it's as simple as removing this cover, loosening the set screws and moving it around until it's dead on. Thankfully, my machine was dead on when it arrived. I wasn't really looking forward to trying to go through that procedure, so I guess I lucked out. This little green cone is not a big beer glass because honestly, you're not going to get anywhere with it. This is a shield that is designed to go around the laser, and its purpose in life is to allow you to handheld engrave objects. This is not only a safety shield, but it's also your spacer. This exact length is the same for focusing, so that when this rests against the face of the object, it's perfectly focused and in the correct distance to engrave it properly. As it sits right here, you do not want to let it go with just the plastic shield on it. This is kind of heavy in the back, it is not balanced well, and that is not going to be something you ever want to let go. In addition, I don't know really how effective you can get and how precise if you're holding it against something. It is something I've seen advertised on their website as a cool feature and things to do, but I just don't know how practical it is. I can't really think of an instance where I'm going to take this, put it up against an object, trust my own motion abilities with muscles, trust that I hold it still enough to start the job, engrave it, and hope I don't move, otherwise I've ruined whatever large object it is I'm trying to engrave on. So for me, it's a cool little feature, I guess, but not something I really ever intend to use. Especially when you remember that the center portion of the plate is removable, and from here, if it's a large object, just sit the whole laser base on top. You're able to focus it and it won't move around on you. So there's a brief look at the machine. Let's go ahead and plug it up, fire it up, get the software going on the computer, and actually start to use this thing. In the world of diode lasers, there is one software that reigns supreme. The end-all be-all version of software to use for any diode laser or CO2 laser. That's Lightburn. As of the making of this video, this laser is not Lightburn compatible and you are only able to use the manufacturer's CAD program. That's a bummer. This CAD program is not very intuitive, it is not user-friendly, and it is about 90% in English. It lacks any kind of user manual within the program, and some of the menus that display are not even in English, and I don't know what they're saying. However, the light at the tunnel and our hopes and dreams rely upon an official statement from Lightburn that they are planning on upgrading the software to support Galvo lasers that specifically run BSL CAD software. That should be this guy. I cannot wait for that day to come. Alright, so I'm sitting here at my LaserTown work surface here, and I've got a handful of materials that I want to put through the paces, see if the Atomstack will engrave it, how well it does, and what kind of results we get. This is aluminum, then I have brass and copper. I also have, of course, some slate coasters. Got some blanks there. I've got some aluminum business cards. That's kind of a standard with a lot of engravers. I may have already cheated and done plastic. So there we can see my computer mouse. It's branded with Samcraft. On this one, I'll speak real quick. You can see the bands and the differences. That's because this curves a lot. And to have it focused here, but curved down, that was a difficult one to do. I should have tilted it to where I wanted it to engrave was more parallel, or I guess perpendicular to the laser. I should have taken the time and set it up better, but I was kind of in a rush and I wanted to see at what extent will the laser engrave beyond a curve above or below where it was focused. Turned out okay. I mean, it's still there, still totally visible. It's just got the banding and stripes and is not something I would really, well, love to have had happen. But it is what it is. Live and learn. Let's fire up the program. I'll start the screen recording on the computer here in LaserTown, and then I'll point you towards the laser. You've seen me enough. I'll still talk to you, but we'll look at the laser, and we'll have some fun going through these things and exploring. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the laser here. It's going to hear some fan noise, so bear with me on this one. We'll just have to get used to it, because it's got to run the whole time. Alright, laser is connected to the computer. I'm going to go ahead and launch the CAD program. It's also going to be called SeaCAD and BSL CAD. See here, SeaCAD, and I don't know. Like I said, it's not the greatest, but it is at least functional. Here we're greeted to the main screen. This white square, the ginormous 70 by 70 millimeter. Yep, that's our working surface. So I think the first thing to do is to plop down one of these aluminum business cards, and we will go ahead and focus the laser. You can see how we have two dots. So I'm going to lower it until we only have one. And at that point, it is focused to the card. I'm going to be putting on my safety glasses. I'm going to be wearing these the whole time. These are not included from the manufacturer. These are glasses. They are free Mascot brand. I purchased these myself because I wanted good quality, reputable glasses to use in the shop. So I have this pair that covers blue light diode as well as the 1064 light wave, which is this machine. And then I have a separate pair for CO2. I highly recommend investing, spend the money, and get some glasses because you only got one pair of eyes. Alright, over here on the computer, let's go ahead and fire up the text button. Here we can click in the middle, and so here we have text. Let's go ahead and change to a different font. I like the fact as I scroll over here on the left, it does show me previews of the text. That is nice, that is a good thing. Alright, let's choose DinoCraft. That one's kind of interesting. And, oh, what should we say? Let's be so original. Samcraft. Alright, so once you type your text in the box, you have to go up here and click Application. That applies it. So I click it, and here it's updated on the screen. Up here under size, I'm able to change the size. Right now it's at 23 millimeters wide. You know what, let's go ahead and do, let's say 50 millimeters wide. And apply. And we can see it's large now. A quick little link up here on the bar. There is this icon here to place the graph at origin. If I click this once, whatever is selected will be dead centered in the working area. Boom. Pretty cool. So that looks good, and as it is right now, that's just going to be an outline. So let's go ahead and fill this text in. For that, I can go up to this icon up here at the top, and this is the fill icon, or you can use the keyboard shortcut. It is Control and H. I'm just going to click the icon, and here I'm prompted with a bunch of options. If I click this, it changes the way that it's going to fill and how it's going to move and the directions. And I know that I can also change the line spacing to make it solid or not so solid. So let's go ahead and make this 0.1 millimeter line spacing. I'm going to click OK, and we'll see how that looks. Pretty cool. If I zoom in, I'm able to see that, and you know what, I think that's pretty neat. With this kind of font, it looks pretty nice. Using my user's manual, this page in particular, user manual has references for speeds and honestly speed. You leave power at 100% all the time. Looking at this, it tells me that a painted surface that is metal should be 100% power, 500 speed. So I'm going over here to the right, I have 400, I'm going to change it to 500, click away, and that should be saved. I don't know. I'm going to click save to make sure. This is the area where I don't know if I just click off if it applies it or if I have to do something else. Alright, down here you've got red light F1, mark F2. Red light will do the profile down here, show us where we're engraving, allow us to line it up. F2 or mark will actually engrave it. So F1 to outline, F2 to mark it or run the job. I'm going to go ahead and press F1 on my keyboard, and that is showing us where this text is going to be. Since we are playing around and practicing, I'm going to not just use up a lot of this business card, and I'm going to line it right there at that point. Now to stop the mark, or to stop the red light, I'm pressing escape on my keyboard, and now I'm going to press F2 to begin the engraving. I will let this run at full speed. I think it's very important you guys see the full speed, real time of these projects and not everything be sped up. So here we go, marking in 3, 2, 1. There you go, that's it. Did you miss it? Hopefully you didn't blink. So here we're able to see the outcome. Very nice. Perfect job. And if I look at it closely here off camera, yeah, I rub my finger across it and I can actually feel the engraving. I can feel that it did remove material. So that is very, very cool. Alright, so that's text. I'm going to go ahead and delete this off the screen. What I want to do next is load a DXF file. I'm going to load up my Samcraft logo because I have had it converted to DXF. Over here on the left, there's a little icon. It kind of looks like, I don't know what that is, a box or something? I don't know. It says draw a vector file, but it's really, you're going to import one. So I'm going to click that. It wants me to browse to wherever I have that file saved. I'm going to click on the box here to show preview, and I believe it's this one. Click once and wait. The one thing I found with this program is you have to be very patient or you're going to crash it. I don't think it's my computer. I've upgraded RAM, solid state drives, a pretty good computer out here. It's a full-blown desktop computer. I don't know, it's weirdness with the software. Sometimes it'll show the preview, sometimes it won't. Let's try just the Samcraft logo DXF. Here's some of the menus that weren't in English. You see that real quick? Yeah, that's interesting stuff. Alright, I see something here at least. So I'll scroll out. Yeah, okay, that's the file I wanted. Alright, I'm going to resize that. Remember, the machine's maximum work size is 70 millimeters by 70 millimeters. This business card is smaller, so let's do 40. And apply. Now, see how it's down here at the left? I'm going to click this button up here again to center it. And then I can use my scroll wheel on my mouse and zoom in on that. This looks pretty big. So let's go ahead and press F1 on the keyboard to get our outline. And I don't know, that's not too bad. It's going to fill up a lot of the card, but hey, that'd be kind of cool to see how long that takes, right? I'm going to press Escape. And since our material's not changed, we're not changing any of the settings. Our speed is 500 millimeters per second and power is 100%. So again, I'll let this run at real time. I'm getting ready to mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. Okay, that was super fast because you know what? I forgot to fill in the object. So without touching anything, I'm going to go up top, click on fill. We'll leave it on that same kind of, I don't know, concentric ring fill. And let's make this one, let's say 0.5 millimeter. How does that look? I'm going to click on OK. Yeah, I guess that'll work. Let's try it. Alright, not touching anything, not moving it. F2 to mark. Very cool. I'm not going to touch it. I just want to look at it. Alright, that's pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to touch it now because I like it. This kind of looks like a PCB or a printed circuit board. I like the look of that. The 0.5 millimeter spacing with that kind of fill-in is pretty cool. Nice. Alright, next up, let's go ahead and do Slate. Everybody loves Slate coasters. Plop it down. I'm going to rotate the dial to focus. Looks good there. You know what? Let's do the same Samcraft logo. Let's leave it like it is. I'm going to press F1 to do my outline. Try and position that pretty good by hand. Alright. And trying to think if I want to change the fill. I think I do. So that looks cool. Alright. Glasses on. F2 to mark, real time. 3, 2, 1, mark. Super fast, isn't it? Alright, I'm going to take a look at it without moving it. I mean, it's there, it's just not very pronounced. So I'm going to do it again without moving it. This presumably would be the same thing if I ran it at half speed, which is 250 millimeters a second, instead of the 500. So we'll see. This should be the same outcome if I had done it at 250 instead of just 500 twice. Alright, looking at that, we don't have a whole lot of contrast. So let me go back to the fill. Let's make the line spacing super small, 0.01 millimeter. Let's apply it. This is pretty much solid. So let's go ahead and mark. This will take some time to run, probably. Not a whole lot though. I mean, this is so much faster than a diode laser on a gantry. But it does take some time to go around the outline. As you're probably seeing, or at least I can see here, I'm definitely getting better contrast, more definition, and it's doing much better. Moving the line spaces closer gives the perception of a better engraving, deeper object, and just makes it a more solid feel. So that looks nice for Slate. I've already got an idea for a cool video that I want to do after this one. I want to do a speed comparison. Slate coaster, the Auteur versus the Atomstack. same design, same size, same resolution, line spacing and everything. I want to know which one's faster. I have a feeling the Atomstack is faster, but this is taking a little bit of time to get it filled in, so I am curious. If you think you know which one's faster, definitely let me know down below. Think, hey, Atomstack's great with small stuff, but oh my gosh, the Auteur would have done that coaster so much faster. Or if you think the other thing that's blowing the pants off the Auteur, don't look, don't let your mom see, let me know that too. Honestly, I think that, gosh, I think they're going to be neck and neck with this, but it's going to be fun to try that one out for sure. Ooh, that last little run on that perimeter, that looked nice. That cleaned it up, didn't it? Alright, yeah, and I also lied. I did time-lapse that one. Sorry, guys. I just got to make the video shorter where I can. Alright, that looks a little bit dusty. Let's wipe her off with the patented hand wipers. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I like that. I like the look of that. A little bit of dots here, there, here, and here. I think that's where it didn't get the line fill in correctly, or the spacing lined up to where it just left it blank. But all in all, that's cool. That was a good job. Alright guys, at this point you've seen me do painted metal cards. This is probably aluminum painted cards. And you've also watched me do a coaster. I'm going to go ahead and run through the metals really quick. I'm going to do probably my Samcraft logo. We'll keep it uniform. Run through all those really quickly here. I'm not going to do the screen record or the computer screen. You've seen the program. It's, you know, it is what it is. But let's go ahead and run through that stuff pretty quick, and then we'll look at all the results and have a chat session on that. That'll make it most interesting, I think. Well, at this point, guys, I feel like I can safely say that I've run this thing through its paces. I've run it through any kind of metal that I would have ever come up with. I've gone through copper, brass, aluminum, steel, mild steel, hardened steel, like impact driver, tool steel, aluminum flashlight, painted aluminum, anodized aluminum. Then I've gone through plastics, both white and black, slate, and even terracotta. This laser does all of those. What this laser will not do, however, as you can see, is cork, leather, or wood. So it appears that organics don't react with the laser. Inorganics, metallics, stones, things like that do react. That's perfect because this laser will do everything that a blue light diode struggles to do or will not do. So between this and a blue light diode, you could conceivably have the ability to engrave any kind of material out there. That's really cool. As far as speeds and feeds, honestly, this is a laser you got to run wide open. Remember, this is only a 5-watt laser inside this machine and is not extremely powerful. So you got to run it a little bit slower, but you also got to run it at full bore, wide open. Throw a cinder block on the throttle type scenario. That being said, you're still able to do all of these with about 250 millimeters per second on average. Those metals, the brass and copper in particular, those I ran 1, 2, 3, and 4 passes to see if there was any big difference. And it looked like the sweet spot for copper, honestly, is 4 passes. Brass looked like it was fine after about 2. Aluminum was fine after 2 as well. So the biggest thing with those probably is the fact that they're acting as heat sinks, and as that laser is hitting that material, it's just wicking away its heat and power, requiring additional passes. Now as far as things like plastic and aluminum and slate, 1 pass did great. 250 millimeters per second, perfect setting for all of those. Even though the manual will say like 1,000 millimeters per second for plastic, the 250 still did fine. It gave really good color, really good clarity, and I would just run it at that, at least with my experiences that I found here in my shop. So thinking to holiday gifts or just gifts in general, these little cheap little aluminum flashlights are perfect for engraving, and the Atomstack M4 did great. Here I picked one out of a pack. It's brown. Nobody likes brown, so I'll take it. This is the Samcraft Browntown flashlight. At least it is now. I've engraved it that way. I just picked up a pack of these from Home Depot. They are like $9 for 8 flashlights plus batteries. That is a great deal. I also like the fact that these flashlights have 0 branding out of the box. They didn't slap their name brand on these. These are pure, probably anodized aluminum, I'm guessing, but pure colored aluminum, and they engrave perfectly with the Atomstack M4. So, awesome. I imagine I'm going to be doing some of these for gifts for families and friends, because why not? It's a great way to give an engraved or personalized gift, and with a flashlight such as this, you're not fighting the brand name or logo on it, which is something I've found looking for products to engrave and sell, or just engrave and give away. If I had to pick my favorite thing out of all of this, I think it has to be this stainless steel washer. This little guy engraved perfectly fine, no problems. And runner-up would be this impact driver bit. I was able to get super small engravings and get really good clarity and quality. Very, very cool. The fact that you can get super small engravings is great. Say if you're a manufacturer or you have a commercial product, or you know someone that makes a commercial product, you could offer to engrave their company name on something small. That would be something that would give you a one-on-one relationship with a company, give you some steady income, and honestly, is pretty amazing. So I've had this laser for a couple of weeks now, and I feel like I'm at a point where I can give you an accurate review or description, my pros and cons, and tell you my thoughts at least. This is a very nice machine as far as size, portability, features, and kind of entry level into the world of fiber lasers. I air quoted fiber lasers because honestly, I don't think this is a fiber laser. I've watched other YouTube reviewers and some have called it a Galvo laser, others have called it a fiber laser, but it just lacks the large box, the fiber optic spine, and all the bulk and heft that you see with true fiber lasers. I don't see that they're able to compact this and make it into a smaller machine. What I feel like this is a 1064 nanometer laser with a Galvo system to move it around with mirrors. And I guess honestly that's what it is. So from that I hesitate to say, hey, here's a fiber laser. Check out this small fiber laser, because it doesn't really seem like that's what it is to me. Again, that's just my opinion, and the manufacturer, while they want me to say fiber laser, I don't know, I just can't do it, guys. Sorry. So let's not get hung up on terminology and labels, because this laser still has a great deal of power, is super fast, and from what I've seen, works exactly as I would expect it to. It has no problem engraving through a wide variety of metals, as you guys have seen, as well as plastics, even stone such as slate. This machine does it all. It also does it in a small form factor, small footprint, and without a lot of moving pieces. No doubt the working size of 70 by 70 millimeters is the limiting factor. I mean, you can fit a 4-inch coaster on here, but you're not going to get a full 4-inch engraving. That's probably the #1 drawback of the machine, is its working size. Outside of that, the drawback that I would also give is not towards the machine itself, it's towards the software and the compatibilities. But like I said in the beginning, this should be Lightburn compatible in the near future. Or at least I really hope it is, and that would fix a ton of the issues, headaches, and user experience problems that I had. As always, there are informational links and purchase links if you're interested in this. You can check them out down below. They are affiliate links, so if you click them, it doesn't add any cost to you. It just tells the manufacturer that you went to them through me, that their risk with me to make some content was worthwhile, and if you purchase, I think some commission comes back, but honestly, I don't usually count on those. Some of those programs can be a little bit sketchy. Either way, if you guys have any questions or comments, anything I didn't cover in this video you would love to know, you want a deep dive, anything specific, definitely leave me a comment down below. This laser is staying in Samcraft workshop. I have some plans already for some commercial business uses to do with metal objects, so that will definitely be a video that comes up. So it's going to be here for the foreseeable future. If you guys got any questions otherwise, feel free to leave them below. Otherwise, take care, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time in the workshop.